Well, hello, and welcome to a Shortie episode. I thought it would be nice to have a short episode on this special day. It's the 30th of December, and I am probably on a mountain in the snow in Austria. And I think it's a great moment to have just a little check-in, and I have just the thing to share with you. In the Ja Wol Community, the JWC, we have monthly topics, and this month's topic is about taking the 2023 JWC pledge. 2 years ago, I decided I didn't want to buy anything new for myself. After moving the shop and moving house, two spaces where I managed to gather so much stuff over 12 years, it was such a hard time during COVID, during the lockdowns. We had to do most of the work ourselves, where you usually ask friends to help. We couldn't do that, and so it was a really hard time, and I decided to lean into what I've learned and what I still was learning about gathering only useful and beautiful things around you. It's a work in progress. It's definitely a skill that needs honing all the time. And I do have a little bit of squirrel DNA. I do tend to really gather and stock up on things when I don't really need to. So I really have to. This does not, let me just be clear here. This does not come natural to me. Don't sit there and think, yeah, but you're all planned out and you're such an organized person. I am not. The core of me is the exact opposite. I need to organize my life in order to sustain my health and my mental well-being. And that's really plainly what it's like. So, when I did that year of not buying anything new for myself because I thought I had so much stuff, I was over it. I just wanted to make all the stuff stop. And I really, really enjoyed that year. So obviously I did have some what will we say, like some rules that could be a little bit flexible. Definitely bought underwear when I needed it. I bought sportswear when I needed it. Shoes for sportswear, no other shoes. And I do think it's harder when you have a larger size to shop secondhand when you need something that specific. And with sporting shoes that I actually needed them because I didn't have enough grip anymore. So that was kind of more of a safety thing than anything else because I work outdoors, outside. And so I did that. But other than that, no new things for myself. I did not include my family in this because I think this is a personal journey and I do not want to put my teens through something that they haven't chosen themselves. Although I do hope that they can get inspired, and I believe that they're not orientated on getting stuff as much as I think some other teens are. So I'm really proud. I think that they're doing a great job. And then the last year I did go back to buying things, and I was very, very conscious about what I bought where and balancing out all the different elements of, well, every single element. So whenever I buy something new, it's always a long process. It's never a quick click on a button or a quick go into the high street and like fill my bags. It's not like that. The hardest part for me is when I travel. Because I do love a good local handmade item. And what I now try to do, or what I did do in the last year, is to have a very clear idea of what I need and what I also think is beautiful. And that really, really makes it a lot easier. I think some people think that putting all these rules around your lifestyle is so limiting, but I believe the opposite is true. I think it's freeing because we are limited by the amount of choices that we have, and we kind of freeze and freak out over a particular color of lipstick, or I don't know. I mean, I'm the same. As I say, it's a work in progress. I can really freak out about these things. And when I do have some kind of rules or guidelines, I'd say more guidelines, it makes it so much calmer. And so there's a lot less things going on. So yeah, I really missed the year of not buying anything new for myself. And I wanted to do it again. And then Kathleen in our community was really inspired by us in the community. And she said, I'm going to not buy any more clothes. And we kind of talked about it, and we made it into our monthly topic. So we did a Zoom call. We did a launching Zoom to really talk to each other about the value of doing something like this, and what would our personal pledge be, and what can we do and what don't we want to do, and where are the edges of what we think is possible, and especially how can we keep it fun, because again, this is guidelines. It's supposed to be offering you something. It's freeing to me, and everybody else needs to find their own space and place in this whole living a more sustainable life and looking at your crafting in a more conscious manner. So that was a really fun Zoom call, a fun launching event, and we have the replay on the Ja Wol Community. So if you do decide to become a member and or even try it out for just a month or so, you can look at that replay and get a really good vibe of what we do and who we are as a community. So you are very welcome to come in and check that out. Hi there, it's just me. I hope you are enjoying the episode. I just wanted to talk to you directly for a second. I've been recording the podcast for 2 years now, and I hope I've been giving you lots of value and some inspiration. If you are ready to give back, I have a few ways you can do that. You can go to www.ja-wol.com, Ja Wol, and subscribe to my newsletter. You can become an active member of our Ja Wol community and work at your sustainable wardrobe. Or you can get mentoring for your small business in our BBBBC program, our Building Better Businesses Circle. And if you want to support more anonymously in the background, you can do that by becoming a patron of the show. Go to patreon.com/smallerlife. You can become a patron for any amount that you choose. Getting more Patreon support opens up the possibility to make more episodes like this one. The support from the community goes directly into paying the editor for the work she does. We both would love to do more and better shows in the future, so becoming a patron is not just a small thank you. It is more than that. It makes it possible for me to continue to talk to interesting people and share their secrets with you. Go to www.ja-wol.com and find the show notes and everything you need there. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. The pledge in itself is, it's a process, and it can be so fun to do it together with a friend. And that is what the power of that of our community is, that you do it together and you have an accountability group. of people. And so what we are doing is every quarter we're going to come together and talk about how things are going, what is hard, what is easy, what have we learned. And so we can learn from each other and have a lot of fun around it. And then during the year, we still have the pledge topic open, so people can really share with each other, go into the feed, go into the chats, and talk to others one-on-one or together as a group, and just say like, I'm messing this up, or I'm in this shop at this moment and I have such a hard time keeping my money to myself because I want to buy this, but I don't want to because I took a pledge. And so this is a way you can reach out in the community, because we do have an app on the phone, and you can just say help, and then somebody will be your accountability partner and talk to you about it. And again, it's what you want. There's no limits. There's no rules. We never force you to do anything that you do not like or do not want to do. So I just wanted to put this out here, and hopefully you'll think about it. In what way can you make 2023 a little bit more sustainable, conscious? What are the steps you can take in your crafting practice, in looking at your wardrobe, what you're wearing, and even beyond that, because some of us have also added some health pledges in there, or some active movement things, and people are now sharing their daily walks in the community. So it could be anything really, but we base things mostly around our wardrobes. And I have mine here. I'll just open my bullet journal. I have it here. And what I'm pledging is I will do more knitting and sewing, what I need. So actually things that I need, that's my focus. So what I need is socks. So I'll be knitting a lot of socks. And I will not be buying any clothes, with the exception of underwear, sports gear, and also an important thing, I will keep buying care products, so like deodorant and stuff. This is focused on clothes, but what I mean is I'm not going to buy stuff for me. So I'm going to enjoy what I already have, and set an example for whomever is interested. And by the end of the year, I hope to feel proud, accomplished, and have added some skills, because I should take out the underwear, because I really want to learn how to sew knickers. I love the word knickers. Bloomers. So maybe I should take that out, but I already signed it. Okay, I'm going to give myself the space and room to still sew my knickers, and add that to my list of new skills. Because when you do make a promise like this, if it's too easy, you probably won't learn a lot of new things. And the idea is that you will learn something. And in my case, I put it down there. I want to add some skills to my skill list. And my main reason for taking the pledge is to prove to myself, but also sharing with you guys, that we really don't need that much. And I've kind of already proven it a year ago, but I think 2 years ago, I think that like a one-time win for a year of not buying is like, it's kind of, it's extra, it's fun, it's new, you have never done this before. But I'm actually hoping to turn this into a practice, like a year on, year off. So, and then eventually it will become a really logical thing to really not buy much at all. Although I haven't bought a lot this year, but it's been really easy to let myself buy things that I don't really need. And a pledge like this really helps me. And as I said, it gives me, the restrictions give me freedom. And I hope that makes sense. I think it will make sense once you try something like this. And what we also added to the pledge is you can set aside some wildcards that allow you to do things that are outside of the pledge. And that is just specifically for people who haven't done anything like this before and kind of they really want to, but kind of are scared about some things. So I put aside some wildcards to buy when I travel, because I do value the handmade items from where I go, or the materials that I can use to then craft new clothes or things for around the house. So that is my, and that will be something that I really will look forward to then. So, and we talk about what makes it hard, what will be hard. And for me, it's going to be the planning of the makes ahead. I need to plan ahead for what I will need. So if it looks like I'm going to need some long sleeve t-shirts in the future, I need to plan so that I have a window of time where I can make them before I actually run out of them. You know what I mean? Ways to deal with that is a question that is on the PDF. This PDF, by the way, I'm going to share with you in the show notes, so you can take the pledge as well. The value of doing it in the community is doing it together and having accountability partners and really talk it through and just have fun with it. But I want you to be able to do this too, because it can really make a difference. Like, imagine 300 people listening to this episode and thinking, oh, this is actually, I've always wanted to do something like this, and I can make my own rules. So I hope you get excited by this and do this. And that means like 300 less pairs of jeans sold, or I don't know. And this is something I come back to a lot. Like, I do believe that although this podcast is not huge, it doesn't need to be, because I'm doing this and I'm inspiring the people in my community. They're inspiring people somewhere else. You hopefully get inspired to do something, even if it's small, like stop buying makeup, or I don't know, because you already have enough colors of nail polish. And if you don't, you can do a swap with a friend, and that would be a good idea, actually. I think I'll do that and just ask a friend to swap our nail polish for like a few months. That's a good idea, actually, because have you ever finished a bottle of nail polish ever in your life? I haven't. The BBBC program, the Building Better Businesses Circle, helps small businesses in the industry run a healthy and holistic business that gets noticed. I'm excited to mention that the early bird tickets for the next cohort are now available. If you want to know more, go to www.ja-wol.com and click on Sellers. We'd love to have you with us. Hello friends, I just want to say something to you quickly. So if you're liking the podcast, if you're liking what I'm talking about, consider joining the mailing list. I have bi-weekly updates on the podcast and or business insights and tips. The occasional exercise to get you ahead. If you want to actually talk to other business owners about the things that I talk about here on the podcast, why not become a Ja Wol Community member for as little as €8.50 a month? That's like buying me coffee and a croissant. But don't do it for me though. Do it for yourself, because I promise that you will get something out of it, either the emails and or the community. So you can either go to the show notes or sign up through javol.myflowdesk.com/pattern shift. I hope you'll join us. Okay, where was I? I would love it if everybody took the pledge. And I actually also made, I want to say a button. It's not a button, a badge. I made a badge you can share that says I took the pledge. And you can share that wherever you like, and share the link to the website or to the podcast with your friends. And who knows? I mean, it would be lovely if we can welcome you into our community, even if it's just for like a few months, to see what it's like. And this is something that's so fun to do together, and to keep that conversation going, and have craft be more than just collecting pretty yarn and knitting the latest trendy shawl. Like, you have 50 shawls already. What do you actually need? And do you need other skills to do that? And could it be something that you might not really like to make? If you don't like knitting socks and you need socks, what is a way that you can like to do that? Does that mean that you want to start to learn how to spin yarn for socks, and would that make it more fun? I mean, that's what I'm doing now. These ideas don't come from nowhere, right? It's my life. But also, if you feel like sewing knickers, also a great example. Who thought I would spend my time doing that? I haven't started, but I really want to. And I mean, I have very specific wishes for my knickers, and try to find full organic cotton, bright colored, fun printed, comfortable knickers in my size that won't like roll up over my bottom belly. I have two, and not ashamed. This is a thing. I mean, it's not easy to find. So how cool would that be? Every single morning, I grab a pair of hand knitted socks and a pair of fun and bright colored, crazy knickers that fit me well. I mean, that's your day. Start it. That is like, okay, add some coffee and then you're there. Don't go out like that though. Add some more clothes. But the feeling of the day, like the energy, starts with a good pair of socks and a good pair of knickers. I mean, you can quote me on that one. Now, back to the pledge. So we're talking about what will be hard, what's going to be hard for you to do, and what are ways that you can deal with that. Now, for me, that means the planning will be hard, to know what I need and plan ahead. And a way to deal with that is organize another clear out and clean out, as we did before in the community, and look again at my wardrobe. Do maybe every quarter, and your wardrobe will get less humongous, less daunting when you do clear outs and clean outs, and you know what you have and you know what you need. It's a whole process. It's a really fun thing to do, especially with other people. Also, another reason, this is turning into a great big ad for the JWC, the Ja Wol Community, and I don't care, because it's fun and we want you there. So come on over. Again, try it out for a month or so. You don't have to stick in there for life. It's just, I think it's €8.50. It's €8.50. I think that will translate to what, $12 or something a month. It's worth a try. It's so fun with us. You just come on over. Again, back to the pledge. So I'm thinking of organizing another clean out and clear out soon, or just do it by myself with the things we've learned before, and just have a look what I really need and make a plan a quarter ahead. I think that would be reasonable. And then check in quarterly with my community. That is because this community is not like from me to you. Obviously, I come up with some things, but the community themselves also come up with these things. I mean, Kathleen is the one that started this whole monthly topic of the pledge. I mean, I do this for myself, but she is the reason that we are doing this as a group now. So it's a living, breathing thing. It really helps me to do what I want to do. So I wrote down check in quarterly with community. Of course, that will help the community, but it helps me like tremendously as well. It goes both ways. And then we have a note section, and I wrote down when I want to buy local from small businesses. Have an eye out for business owners that are in a marginalized group, so you can give them some extra support. And whenever I buy, make sure it's more sustainable, but rather circular, so it really can go back into the chain, or really just go back into nature in a safe way. So yeah, I signed it 12/12/22, and this is my pledge, and I now also shared it with you. So I hope you love this Shortie episode. It turns out to be not that short at all. And I'm going to make a show notes and share with you the PDF and the badge. Make sure you share it everywhere so we can have lots of people do this with us, within or outside of the community. And I wish you so much fun taking the pledge, but actually keeping yourself to it in 2023. Have an awesome new year, and let me know how you're doing. We do have that button on the website where you can leave voice messages. I'd love to get some voice messages from you talking about your pledges. I will share them with if you're okay with that, I can share them on the podcast. I can share them in the newsletter, but I will always ask you. And we can just like cheer each other on and inspire each other and share the joy. So it's all about solutions. It's all about the good news, committing, infecting others, and just amplifying what matters. And do not leave this podcast. Do not leave your ears. Don't leave your ears. Do not leave this podcast and think other people will do it. The other people, that's you. So try to find a way, even if it's super, super small, that you can do something about this. Find a way that you can actively make a difference, even if it's so small. In the year ahead, we can make this little ripple turn into a huge wave. And I believe this is so true, that the little ripples turn into a big wave. My whole being, all my fibers, even my fiber stash believes it. So go out and do good in the world. P.S. I'm not editing this. It's just going to be natural and weird because it's a Shortie episode. And the reason for this is because I want to take a break over the holiday, and that makes it easier for me to do that. So no editing. This was all natural. This is the way it is. Just going to put some music in the front, maybe at the end. Don't know yet. That's going to be it. Okay, you guys, be yourself. Be happy. Do your thing. Do good. PPS. I did do a little bit of editing. I said a lot of ums, so I took some out. That's okay, right? Okay, PPPS. Welcome, Flora, to our Patreons. I'm so happy to have you. Thank you.